Hey y'all, it's your girl Lady Mila, coming with another message again. Today we're going to talk about the dark night of the soul, a little bit about what it is. We can break it down in, step one, step two, part one, part two type videos and give you a little bit more insight. You fill me in on some of the things that you've learned during your process, and I will do the same. So one of the things that I learned about the dark night of the soul is that it can get very, very dark. It can get ugly. It can get deceptive. It can get truthful. It can be hurtful. It can be exposing. It can be a tower moment for people in many cases where they get confronted with their shadow side. They get to see themselves in a reflected light and dark. A lot of people like to look at themselves and say, hey, it's such and such's fault, or it's another person's this and that, and they like to shift the blame from themselves instead of taking full responsibility on some of the things that they messed up in their lives through the actions and decisions that they made, for not listening to their inner self, their intuition, to not listening to their higher power, their higher calling. And I am not above any of that. This is the reason why I'm creating this video today. I hope it finds and reaches and touches who it needs to, because I don't believe that people go through things and carry so much of this experience, whether they call it wisdom, knowledge, understanding, what have you, and not be willing to share it with the world. But everyone is not me and I am not them. So I'm just really thankful that I do have the strength to talk about these kinds of things and stand here and give this empowerment to others as well as myself. One of the worst things that can happen during the dark night of the soul is isolation. And in isolation, not only are you alone physically, but you feel lonely. That loneliness can cause you to go back to people, places, and things that no longer serve you. And it is so much easier said than done. So it's not about judgment, it's about discernment, it's about willpower, and it's about pushing through and to continue to be better than you were the day before, even though you may have tripped, stumbled. Some people just fell flat on their face, but pick yourself back up. That is the most important part to this in the healing process. You are going to make mistakes. It is going to be uncomfortable. It is not easy. Don't let anyone push you further than what you can go at that particular time in that moment. Go as far as you can and then rest. The best thing to do is to be still, but the better thing also to do is to dive into activities and things of that nature, hobbies and things that you love to do to lift your spirits. Because sometimes in this moment of darkness, you are meant to be alone, if you will. You are not meant to have anything around you so that you can have a sense of clarification on the things that you need to change in your life and the people, places, and things that you need to remove from your life, and become familiar with the things that are triggering to you, that are temptations to you, that are just plain out bad habits, bad thinking, stinking thinking, etc., during this particular time in your life. It can take years. So, and one moment or two, you're having such a good week, such a good month, hell, even half a good year, quarter of a year, whatever. And the next thing you know, you're just totally having a mental breakdown because you're being triggered by something. One of the biggest triggers is lust and or love, childhood traumas that you never healed. Again, circling back around to stinking thinking, because if you don't realize the thoughts that are coming up, they're telling you what you can't do, how you aren't this, anything that's negative, that's going to be a blockage. It is also going to be a triggering factor. So these particular situations and circumstances will continue to come up and repeat themselves until you learn the lesson. And that's with anything in life. Okay? Don't look at yourself as being less than what you are, and look at yourself as being something in which others have told you you were that doesn't coincide with you. All right? As long as you stick with love and light, as long as you recognize that everything is light and dark, you accept yourself for being of both, and you push forward in that knowing, in that doing, and in that being, everything is going to be okay. This is your girl, sending light and love, and I receive light and love.